Dark Sealing Method. The dark sealing method is one of the mysterious barrier ninjutsu introduced in the early part of the Naruto series. We witnessed the power of this jutsu when Sasuke Uchiha decided to leave the Hidden Leaf Village to follow the Sound Four, loyal servants of Orochimaru. This technique played a crucial role in upgrading Sasuke's cursed seal of heaven to its second level. It was intricately coordinated with another formation technique, the Four Black Fog Formation. The Sound Four combined their efforts to create a thick black mist that enveloped Sasuke, isolating him from everything, including death itself. Sakon, a member of the Sound Four, was the one who carried out the ritual involving the dark sealing method. Using his own blood, he inscribed complex sealing formulas onto 5 talismans, which were then placed around the perimeter of what we could call Sasuke's coffin. The dark sealing method created a space completely cut off from the outside world. This sealing barrier wasn't a physical wall, but a powerful chakra shield capable of even blocking the vision of the Byakugan, one of the most formidable dojutsu in the ninja world. The Byakugan was unable to penetrate and observe what was happening inside the barrier. Overall, this is not a particularly high-level barrier technique, and its scale is relatively small. However, its ability to block the Byakugan's sight is genuinely rare, and something very few techniques can achieve. Four Violet Flames Formation. The Four Violet Flames Formation is another barrier ninjutsu performed by the Sound Four. This technique is executed by 4 ninjas positioned at the 4 corners of a rectangle, creating an energy barrier in the shape of a perfect cube. The barrier consists of violet flames, a highly destructive form of energy capable of instantly incinerating anything or anyone that comes into contact with it. This makes it highly effective at preventing any attempts to breach or escape the protected area. Tactically, this technique has a significant weakness. It requires all 4 ninja to continuously channel their chakra to maintain the barrier. If even one of them is attacked or loses focus, the entire defensive system collapses. To address this vulnerability, when the Sound Four used the technique to isolate Orochimaru and the 3rd Hokage, they created additional barriers around each member. These auxiliary barriers protected the casters and made it much harder to break the barrier from within. The Four Violet Flames Formation reappeared during the 4th Great Ninja War, utilized by members of the 1st Division. They used this jutsu to confine Dan, preventing him from using the Spirit Transformation technique to harm allied shinobi forces. Unlike the Sound Four, the 1st Division ninjas stood outside the barrier rather than inside the square. This adjustment prevented Dan from targeting them directly. Overall, the Four Violet Flames Formation is a jutsu with a high level of control. Despite its structural weakness, relying on the stability of all 4 casters, it remains an extremely effective technique for containment. Now, I really want to thank you for subscribing to my channel, which helps increase the subscriber to viewer ratio. However, the unsubscribed viewer ratio is still quite high, so I hope you will continue to subscribe to the channel to help our team reach 1,000 subs. Thank you so much. Earthdome Prison. The Earthdome Prison is another barrier technique used by the Sound Four, specifically by Jirobo. This jutsu works by creating a dome made of earth that surrounds the target. What makes it unique is the continuous flow of chakra within the walls, which acts as a self-repair mechanism, quickly fixing any damage caused by those trapped inside. This feature makes it extremely difficult for regular ninja to escape by simply breaking the structure. Even more frightening is the prison's ability to absorb the chakra of those it confines. This not only weakens the enemies, but also serves as a way for the user to recover and enhance their own strength. Jirobo particularly favored this technique because it allowed him to simultaneously control his opponents and benefit from their chakra. However, like all jutsu, the Earthdome Prison has its weaknesses. The chakra within the walls is not evenly distributed, with the thinnest part located directly opposite where Jirobo stands. This is a significant tactical flaw. Fortunately for the Sasuke retrieval team, they had sharp minds like Shikamaru and skilled ninja like Neji, who were able to identify this weakness and successfully break through the prison. Overall, the Earthdome Prison is a low-level barrier jutsu that is ineffective against powerful ninja. However, its combination of defense and offense posed a real challenge for Shikamaru's team at the time. Ice Release, Ice Rock Dome. The Ice Release, Ice Rock Dome is a jutsu showcased by Haku during the Fourth Great Ninja War. Essentially, Haku quickly manipulates and freezes the surrounding air to create a transparent ice dome resembling an igloo. This unique ice structure is strong enough to withstand intense attacks, such as multiple explosive tags detonating at once, without sustaining any damage. Haku used this technique to protect both himself and Zabuza, although it wasn't entirely necessary for their survival. The range and resilience of this jutsu suggests that the Ice Rock Dome has the potential to be an effective tool for shielding teammates in combat scenarios. In fact, Haku had previously used a somewhat similar technique during his confrontation with Team Kakashi. That technique, known as demonic mirroring ice crystals, demonstrates a higher level of ice control, allowing Haku to create multiple large ice mirrors that encircle the target, forming a deadly ice prison. The mechanism of demonic mirroring ice crystals differs slightly from the Ice Rock Dome. Firstly, it does not form a completely enclosed barrier. Secondly, it is not used for defense, but rather to isolate and eliminate opponents. Using this jutsu, Haku traps Sasuke inside the mirror formation. By entering one of the mirrors, Haku's reflection appeared simultaneously in all the others. From this position, he launched relentless attacks, usually with high-speed Senbon needles, creating the impression of strikes coming from every direction at once. Haku's ice is immune to standard fire-style techniques, making it highly effective for containment and resisting moderately powerful attacks. Sensing Barrier. The Sensing Barrier is a sophisticated defensive and surveillance jutsu, taking the form of a massive invisible sphere that covers the designated area, both above ground and underground. The Hidden Leaf Village used this technique to monitor those entering and exiting the village. One of the remarkable aspects of this barrier is its invisibility to the naked eye, making it a secretive protective layer that is difficult for enemies to detect or counter. This jutsu is often combined with the Sensing Water Sphere, creating a comprehensive surveillance system capable of detecting and pinpointing any unauthorized intrusion into or out of the protected area. Together, they enhance the village's ability to secure its borders effectively. Overall, the Sensing Barrier exemplifies the evolution of defensive jutsu, transitioning from simple protection to integrated surveillance, making it suitable for safeguarding critical locations. However, despite its seemingly advanced capabilities, it has proven to be rather ineffective in the series. For instance, Itachi was able to bypass the Hidden Leaf's Sensing Barrier undetected due to his prior knowledge of the system from his time in the Leaf's Anbu. Using the Sensing Barrier pass technique, he slipped into the village unnoticed. Alongside him, Kisame also managed to infiltrate the village, guided by Itachi's expertise. Despite the barrier's purpose to protect the village from foreign ninja and criminal organizations, this duo entered and exited as if the barrier didn't exist. As for Pain, the Six Paths essentially stormed into the Hidden Leaf Village without much concern for the barrier. Pain's overwhelming power rendered the relatively passive system of the Sensing Barrier utterly ineffective. Self-Repairing Barrier. The Self-Repairing Barrier is an excellent example of the power of cooperation ninjutsu, where the combined chakra of multiple ninja creates a unique self-repairing defense system. This technique is the one used to protect the entire Turtle Island. The barrier continuously repairs any damage by drawing from the constant flow of chakra provided by the individuals performing the jutsu. In terms of scale and strength, this technique allows users to establish dozens of overlapping layers of barriers, forming an extremely robust multi-layered defense system. These barriers are specifically designed to restrain and contain any Jinchuriki, hosts of tailed beasts with immense power. The durability of the barrier was proven when it withstood a direct tailed beast ball attack from Killer Bee, with only a few of its layers being destroyed. However, the technique has its limits when faced with the combined strength of multiple Jinchuriki. This was demonstrated when Naruto Uzumaki, in his Nine Tails Chakra mode, and Killer Bee completely broke through the barrier system. This highlights the fact that the self-repairing barrier cannot withstand the combined might of two Jinchuriki. A unique feature of this technique is its ability to conceal chakra, preventing any attempts to sense what is happening inside the barrier using conventional methods. This made it a perfect tool for hiding the Nine Tails and Eight Tails. Overall, while not the most powerful, the self-repairing barrier is a relatively well-rounded and effective barrier technique. Uchiha Flame Formation. The Uchiha Flame Formation is one of the most impressive and notable defensive techniques of the Uchiha clan. In terms of mechanics, the user must concentrate chakra into each fingertip to create small, unique flames, and then slam their hands onto the ground to activate the technique. Once activated, this technique forms a fiery barrier that provides shielding and protection. What sets this defense apart is its dual functionality. It not only acts as a protective barrier, but also has a passive offensive capability, burning any opponent who dares to come into contact with it. In combat, the effectiveness of the Uchiha Flame Formation is undeniable. It was able to withstand and repel an attack from the Eight Tails, one of the most powerful tailed beasts in the Naruto world. This demonstrates the durability and defensive strength of the technique. When used by a skilled ninja like Obito Uchiha, the technique becomes even more formidable when combined with other strategies. However, like all techniques in the ninja world, the Uchiha Flame Formation has its weaknesses. Opponents with space-time ninjutsu or long-range attacks may find ways to bypass or break the barrier. Overall, the Uchiha Flame Formation is a defensive technique that embodies the Uchiha clan's mastery of fire-based techniques and showcases its practical effectiveness in battle. Adamantine Sealing Chains. The Adamantine Sealing Chains is one of the most iconic and powerful jutsu of the Uzumaki clan. This technique allows the user to create chains made from their own chakra, typically emerging from the chest or back. These chains can be controlled with remarkable flexibility, extending or retracting as needed, and are primarily used to restrain and subdue opponents. The true strength of the adamantine sealing chains lies in their extraordinary durability. These chains are so resilient that even the Nine Tails, Kurama, with its immense destructive power, cannot break free. While the technique is mainly used for sealing, its versatility extends beyond just restraining the tailed beast. The chains can also form an almost impenetrable barrier. A prime example is Kushina Uzumaki, who wove the chains together to create a barrier that prevented Kurama from escaping and causing havoc. This barrier was so formidable that even the third Hokage could not penetrate it, allowing Kushina and her husband to fight alone to protect everyone else. During the fourth Hokage and Kushina's battle with the Nine Tails, even when Kurama was in its full form with both its yin and yang halves, the beast was unable to break free from the restraint of these chakra chains or escape Kushina's chakra barrier. Typically, a Jinchuriki dies immediately after having their tailed beast extracted, as seen in Naruto's case, where losing even half of Kurama's chakra left him on the brink of death. However, Kushina, despite having just gone through childbirth and losing all of Kurama, was still able to muster the strength to control the beast and fight valiantly for a time before her death. The adamantine sealing chains stand as one of the most powerful sealing and barrier jutsu ever seen in the ninja world. It is a technique that truly embodies the legacy of the Uzumaki clan, renowned as the masters of sealing techniques. 4 Red Yang Formation. The 4 Red Yang Formation is one of the most advanced sealing techniques in the Naruto world. Classified as an A-rank jutsu, it can only be performed by ninja of Kage-level skill. Its strength and complexity are evident in the requirement of 4 Kage-level ninja working together simultaneously, making it a technique far beyond the reach of ordinary shinobi. This technique creates an enormous red energy barrier. To activate and maintain it, 4 ninja must position themselves at the 4 corners of a square, forming a complete formation. The size of the barrier is immense, capable of containing the 10 tails, a creature whose size and power surpass all other tailed beasts in the ninja world. In terms of effectiveness and strength, the 4 Red Yang Formation surpasses similar techniques like the 4 Violet Flames Formation. Its most remarkable feature is its incredible resilience. When faced with powerful attacks such as the 10 Tails tailed beast ball, the barrier doesn't break, but instead deforms to absorb and redirect the force of the attack upward. It then restores itself to its original shape without sustaining any damage, showcasing its outstanding stability and durability. The 4 Red Yang Formation was used during the 4th Great Ninja War, when the 4 previous Hokage of the Hidden Leaf, Hashirama Senju, Tobirama Senju, Hiruzen Sarutobi, and Minato Namikaze, combined their efforts to restrain the 10 Tails. The fact that these legendary ninja had to work together to perform the technique further emphasizes its complexity and power. The 4 Red Yang Formation is undoubtedly one of the most formidable sealing jutsu ever seen in the series. Kamui. Kamui is one of the most unique and powerful barrier ninjutsu techniques in the Naruto world, demonstrating an advanced level of space-time manipulation. While it might seem unusual to classify it as a barrier technique, this categorization is entirely fitting. Kamui doesn't create a visible wall like conventional barrier jutsu. Instead, it generates and controls a separate dimension completely disconnected from the real world. Only those with the Mangekyo Sharingan imbued with Kamui's power can access this dimension. This exclusivity provides an absolute layer of protection, since no other ninjutsu or dojutsu can penetrate Kamui's dimension without the user's consent. Kamui is incredibly versatile in battle. Obito frequently used this technique to shift parts of his body, or his entire self, into the Kamui dimension, allowing him to avoid attacks and creating a nearly flawless defense. Additionally, Kamui can trap opponents in its separate space, isolating them completely with no means of escape unless they possess the same Kamui ability. Kakashi famously used Kamui to sever and transport Deidara's arm, essentially imprisoning it in another dimension. Once something is transported into the Kamui dimension, it vanishes entirely from the perception of the outside world. No chakra detection technique, no matter how advanced, can locate or sense anything hidden within this space. This makes Kamui an ideal tool for concealing and secretly transporting objects or individuals. The ability to create and control a separate dimension, combined with the invulnerability of that space, elevates Kamui far beyond the scope of ordinary barrier techniques. Apart from Kamui, there is another space-time technique with a similar mechanism called Sasuke's Space-Time Dojutsu. Sasuke's Space-Time Dojutsu, used by Sasuke Uchiha with his Rinnegan, allows him to create portals to move between different dimensions. This technique enables Sasuke to move quickly and gain a significant tactical advantage. He can use it without the need for assistance from others, and it does not put serious strain on his body, only causing brief fatigue. This shows the refinement and superior effectiveness of this technique compared to Kamui. So, do you think Sasuke's space-time Jutsu can be considered a barrier technique? Please comment your opinion below. 6 Red Yang Formation. The 6 Red Yang Formation is the highest level barrier technique in the Naruto world, surpassing even the 4 Red Yang Formation in both scale and durability. It can only be used by those who have been granted 6 Paths power, showcasing the extraordinary nature of this jutsu within the ninjutsu system. The process of executing this technique is most clearly demonstrated by Obito Uchiha. When activating the jutsu, the truth-seeking ball behind his right hand is covered in red chakra, resembling flames. From there, Obito releases 6 black pillars, each surrounded by a similar red chakra layer. These pillars drive into the ground at 6 points and become the sources for creating a massive red barrier. In terms of defense, the 6 Red Yang Formation displays high-level elasticity, similar to its smaller counterpart. This is proven by its ability to withstand explosions from 4 massive tailed beast balls created by the power of the Ten Tails. Instead of breaking, the barrier is able to disperse the attacking force into the sky. One notable advantage of this technique is its user control flexibility. First, this jutsu can be performed by a single person. Second, the user can freely activate or deactivate the barrier at will. This feature provides a high level of strategic potential in battle, allowing the user to adapt extremely well to changing conditions on the battlefield. Overall, this is considered the strongest barrier technique ever seen in Naruto, as it is created by the power of the 6 paths. Alright, that's all for this episode. If you want me to make a video about any other anime or a specific character, just leave a comment below.